Skyhorn's getting heavy. We need to get in and out.
Yeah, we are live.
Did you get that thumbnail in there?
Yeah.
I spent more time on that thumbnail than this entire episode is going to take. I just want you guys to know that.
I'm really excited that I'm the turkey that was triple C thick and doing like a sumo squat. I was like, yeah.
You should have seen the little girl in the original photo that your face is over top of.
No, it couldn't be better. There's no way it could be better. That was excellent. So excited that I was not consulted whatsoever on that.
Well, Jared wasn't either.
And
you're lucky we're not friends on Facebook to where I could grab pictures of you 15 years ago.
I don't have any.
Jared.
I don't have any.
Did they not have cameras in California?
No, I wore those little those like the stuff the celebrities have that reflect flashes back. I also didn't go out into the day.
Yeah.
So nobody saw me in the sunlight.
Makes sense.
I guess nobody at work sees me in the sunlight either. I work in a cave, so I could be a vampire for all they know.
Speaking of vampires, did you see that jacket?
Yes, the Techune one. I'm like saw that and I'm like, oh shoot. I was on Bungie this morning. I like had it up so I could like just refresh it every hour or so. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's go in their store, see if there's anything cool I can get for the holidays. And then I saw like the holiday sweater. I saw the Techune jacket. I saw all of the jerseys, and I'm like, man, I would never wear any of this, but I'd be so happy to have it.
I saw those Gambit panties, and I was considering those.
Right. I saw the Beist ones. I'm like, ooh, spicy. I just about copped me a set, but couldn't do it. I'm like, that's the quickest way to undo the action.
I'm entirely too fat for the Bungie store. That's my issue.
Fine, you can send me a set and I'll wear them for you. I'll send you pictures.
I think they used California sizes whenever they size their jackets.
No, they're in Seattle, so they were using West Coast sizes.
Yeah, even tight. It's all slim fit, hipster stuff.
Hey, it looks tight. All right.
Yeah, we don't have that Midwest thick. We're still in the baggy. We just got Jinkos and stuff, you know. So.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
I want to have you make sure that everything sounds good with the intro music. Are you guys ready to hear it?
Super scared. Oh yeah, wait, I muted the tab. Never mind.
Sound all right, volume-wise, Jared? I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, we ready to go like live?
Yeah, ready.
Yep.
All right. I am going to start the music in 3, 2, 1. Hello, we are live for episode 36, the Thanksgiving episode of the Conqueror's Corner podcast. Today is Wednesday, November 24th. I'm not Ryan Fox, and I'm here with my fire team, Jared.
Oh yeah, fresh out of Lake of Shadows and grinding first encounter of prophecy.
And Mr. Chronicler himself, Chad the Chronicler.
Oh, I'm here and ready to go for this episode. Very sadly, there will be no lore for today, but we'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, guys, this is definitely going to be an in and out episode. Make sure if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget you can take us on the road during your travel tomorrow on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast services. Make sure you subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, click the bell, turn on notifications, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on Twitter at DestinyCCPod. Send us Bungie friend requests so we can be best friends and run raids and GM Nightfalls this week together. Join the Discord server. We had a very short this Wednesday at Bungie from our boy Cosmo. I am holding a Gallahorn in honor of Gallahorn Days. So, Jared, let's let the dogs out.
Yeah, so we're celebrating Galler Days, and again early TWAB after the 6,000 word TWAB that happened last week about all the ability changes. So the next little section here is must have Gallahorn. Everybody remember those days of Destiny 1 where you need a Gallahorn to get into the LFG fire teams and stuff. So this week, Galler Days are be counting down to Gallahorn's debut in Destiny 2. And the celebration starts from November 23rd all the way to December 7th. And Bungie partnered with Just Geek, Level Up Wear, and Loot Crate to offering some daily discounts in the Bungie store and all kinds of new merchandise to go represent the game you love to play. There's going to be new products, emblems with purchase, Gala Day sales, 10% off store-wide, 50% off soundtracks, and gifts of Gala Days. Check back daily for daily gifts. Looking through those pictures, man, some of that stuff looks really cool. I'm still waiting on my Season of the Splicer hoodie to come in. I'm sure it's going to come in probably like March or May as soon as I don't need a hoodie anymore. I'm sure that's probably when it'll come.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I never been disappointed with anything I bought at the Bungie store. I know Fox has a story about a raid jacket that didn't fit quite right.
I feel.
Hey, well, Fox is muted right now. He's been playing with his keybinds, trying to make this place.
I'm sorry. I'm here. I was going to say I think they are definitely hipster sizes. So be careful if you look more like Callus, as opposed to Cade, you might have a little trouble getting into some of those raid jackets. So I would recommend going up a size or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been happy with everything I got. I'm more of a hipster size than Ryan. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a couple of things on there, and I was looking at it this morning, and they already had the store set up, and I was like, dang, I want that holiday ugly sweater. I want some of them undies, and I'm just looking around. Yeah, they do have that. Don't they have that ghost on there right now too?
They have this very ghost in there, and whenever you get this ghost, I think I got mine at Best Buy. You actually get like a little code for an emblem that you get. And the emblem's pretty cool.
I think it's the Carhay emblem, if I recall correctly, right?
I can't remember the name.
That sounds right, though.
Yeah.
I have the Crucible Ghost vinyl that's that size as well. Not sure why I got that one, but that's the one that I got. So.
All right, so there's like some other known issues that's going on with the 30th patch. The only thing that's kind of been going on inside the Destiny world this week is that a couple of the Bungie devs was on the Destiny community podcast, Fire and Range, and they talked about a lot of their thought processes of the TWAB that happened last week. And basically, the only news that came out instead of them just like actually explaining their thoughts behind stuff is that Hunter Dodge tracking, how it's supposed to break projectiles, tracking them, it's not gonna be in PvP, but it is gonna go back into PvE at some point after the 30th anniversary.
Okay. Okay, so you'll be able to break tracking on enemies.
Yes, like the
Okay.
Shriekers projectiles.
Yeah.
I can't remember what other enemies have projectiles that track, but yeah. All right, and everybody's counting down for December 7th. 13 days away, and I can't get here soon
We're
enough.
so close, guys. We are absolutely so close. The TWAB was very, very, very light this week. If they didn't have the movie of the week and the art of the week, do you think that thing would have been more than a front and a back to turn into a teacher?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You would have to do
I
like
don't think.
size 13 font with a 1.5 space.
Yeah,
And move it in the
like bring the
margins. Just,
margins in a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So the main thing that I picked up out of that was outside of the store discount codes is to I feel like we would be remiss to not mention the fact that the 30th anniversary pack acts more like a DLC as opposed to a season pass, and the fact that you have to have it on every platform that you play, so it doesn't travel with you via cross save. So if you play on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, you'll have to buy the 30th anniversary pack on each platform. It will not carry over in between. That was kind of the main thing that I saw out of the TWAB this week.
all right. So that's it for the TWAB this week. What have we done? I think we've only had 6 days in between our last podcast. I know me and Fox got together and did some stuff. Before we get into that, Chad, what have you been up to in Destiny World this week?
Oh man, in Destiny World, I've just been going in and doing my daily flawless master lost sectors. I've been working on that the past couple of weeks. I skip a day here and there by accident, but it's been really good to keep up on the practice. It's a nice fun challenge to do those solo flawlesses, especially for those because they don't take too long. And they give you a really good practice run on the legend version. So you like the day, you know how you have like a legend and a master, and then the next day it rotates. So the one that was legend is now the master the next day. So that legend gives you a good like practice run on getting through there, seeing where the enemies are, seeing where they spawn. It tells you the shield types, all that fun stuff. So then you just leave your character set up like that. You know what it is, and then you just go in the next day and just hammer it out. Maybe one or two tries. But it's been a really fun challenge. There are triumphs involved, so if you're someone like me that absolutely has to check off all the boxes, it's definitely something to do. But that's basically been me. I'm not really. I've gotten a couple of exotics out of it, nothing to write home about, but I've been definitely happy to have something challenging to work on outside of solo flawless dungeons.
Are you throwing any of
Yeah,
those mods
so
on your ghost to focus recovery or intellect on the character you're running with?
I mean, I'm not really worried too much on it. If I grind one out, I do that, but I've just been doing it for the clear. Like as soon as I get that flawless clear, I'm done with it.
Okay.
Um, so I mean, I just doing it to do it.
I've kind of been. I don't have the curated version of the blasphemer shotgun that comes out of the moon activity. What's the activity at the most northern part of the moon?
Altar of
Altar
Sorrows.
Altar of Sorrows. Yeah, Altar of Sorrows. I don't have the curated version of that, which is what is it? Is it quick draw opening shot? I want to say is the
Yeah.
yeah. So I run it a few times every like 3 days, more than likely every 6 days because I usually miss it one of like every other time. So I'll run it, and then I'll get fed up of running it, so I'll stop. Um, I'm also trying to stock the golf balls back up. So like a shadows, I know Jared and I and our Canadian brother Zen, we were able to get 3 clears in pretty swiftly the other night. So I'm going to try to do 7 more clears of it this week, and then next week or like the next time it comes around in 6 weeks to go in with the hunter and get 10 clears then, and that should give me 40 golf balls going into the new expansion. And really, that's about it. I'll be sure to get my presage clear done this week to try to get another shot at the Vorpal DMT, but that's kind of my main goals this week. And probably try to run a raid or two. If any of you are interested in that, make sure you hit us up, and I'm sure we can definitely get you in for a clear.
Yeah, I did have a decent gun to drop from Lake of Shadows, and I got that hung jury with tac mag, explosive payload, rapid hit. And range masterwork. So I was just like, all right, I was not really caring that much about because I have that exact role on a night watch. But if they ever like change up something in between those two archetypes, I'm putting set on scout rifle for the kinetic slot. And then Fox, we farmed prophecy first encounter for probably I felt like what 2+ hours.
Yeah. I mean, we got quite a few clears in there, and I know you got the prize that we were both after, but I feel like I got a pretty good silver medal. So we'll go ahead and talk about what you got, and then I'll chime in after.
All right, so what I was really caring about is the judgment, and with the changes to Flux Day for hunters that's coming in 30th, I was like, I really like an adrenaline junkie demolitionist hand cannon, and I got this judgment to drop with steady grip. I mean, it was steady sight, tac mag, demolitionist, adrenaline junkie, and then range masterwork. So I mean, I couldn't really. Yeah, I didn't have Acro eyes for PvP, but tac mag is usually the second best in that slot, and gonna be happier with it. And I was messing around with it a little bit, and adrenaline junkie is still kind of it's bad right now the way it feels. The way you have to use a grenade to get that stack. So I'm really ready for that adrenaline junkie change, in 13 days.
Yeah, and I managed to get the sniper. What's it called? The long walk. I want to say it's
Yeah.
called. With clown cartridge and Vorpal. So I was pretty happy with that. I could have used a better mag perk, to give it the one extra with that, but I'm not complaining. I'm more than thrilled to get that outcome. I got several of Judgment hand cannons that were like I got like two good PvP rolls and two good PvE rolls, but not like god rolls of either one. So all in all, pretty solid 2 hours, really.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty easy just to get that checkpoint. Especially if you go like on Titan with catapult line rampage, you can just sword up the alleyway and bypass like going killing all those knights to get to the first encounter and start it and stuff. And
What do you think
eventually,
it took us? Maybe like 45 seconds by the time like you invited me and I flew in and then you left, you like switched characters and went over or whatever. What do you think it
hmm
took? What, maybe a minute in between
it's
runs?
it's probably a minute, a little bit less to get that changed out, and then
Right. And that is like M2 SSDs and stuff like that. So I
yeah,
mean we both have pretty nice PCs which helps with the loading times. But either way, you can definitely make it pretty quick and definitely worth your time. I was surprised at how easy it was, to be honest with you.
yeah, we just 2 minutes there for a while, and 1K and particle deconstruction really makes stuff really easy, and Bungie's pretty much said we're not getting anything to the level of that coming for Witch Queen for that day one raid race. So it's gonna be
Of course
interesting.
not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
All right, I'd say that probably puts a cap on what we was able to do this week. Everybody knows Thanksgiving's tomorrow in the States, so it's probably finish up couple days of work, and then now getting ready to travel or host or hunker down, whatever you decide to do this Thanksgiving. All right, Fox, what we got next up?
All right, so we are going. We hit the TWAB. We're not going to do any weapons this week. Gambling corner we discussed last week. We're going to wait until after the holiday, after Thanksgiving, to get back into that. Just to give you an update, I have 37,000 glimmer. Jared has 10,000 glimmer. Chad has 18,500. I know we decided we were going to skip lore since it was going to be a short week this week, and I think we're right to the mailbag. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's it.
All right. So, first question. I thought this was an excellent question. What other podcasts do each of you listen to? I'll go last on this. I'll let you guys hit it first.
Ooh. Man, I'm probably like the one that listens to the least podcasts here, so I'll go first on this one. Besides us, who I have playing all the time in the background, I frequently like listen to one of my coworkers who listens to a lot of murder podcasts and like mystery ones. So I'm like there in the background listening to those. I'm like, those are interesting. I don't know if I can catch any of them like as something I want to listen to, but like she's listening to it the first thing in the morning doing all the inventory. So I'm like, there's an hour of quiet time and it's just playing and I'm like, this is interesting, but I don't think I can do it. And then I listen to Ear Biscuits because those guys have been YouTubers that I watched for a long time and they're just jabbering with each other is very interesting to me if you know who they are. Um, but it's just two guys. It's not any particular. There's no like they talk about sports a little bit, but it's no sports, no video games, no. It's just two guys talking about life, and I like that. I like just listening to people jabber on about stuff that I can be a little bit invested in, but I'm not a big sports person, and I like Destiny. So there's any other video game podcast that isn't Destiny related isn't really anything I'm going to care to listen to. But these guys have a lot more stuff they listen to.
Yeah. So Destiny wise, I listen to the RGH podcast, and I listen to Firing Range that's on Destiny Community Podcast thread, and then I listen to Massive Breakdown, which is like by Mercules and Kit Kutcha, which that's probably the most technical. And if you really care about like improving in sixes and gun stats, that's uh, where you can get a lot of good information. And also where they do the big spreadsheet about time to kills, and then like time to kills that are like rational, as in like SMGs, like you're gonna get seven crits and 3 bodies, and what's the time to kill then compared to if you got all crits. So they do a lot of that. And then outside of Destiny, it's mainly the Bill Simmons podcast and the Ryan Russillo podcast. And then I dabble a little bit into the Unlocked podcast by IGN, and a little bit of Press Start to Continue while I'm at work.
All right, so I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I spend a lot of time on the road. And honest, I've been into podcasts for a while. So like for instance, me holding this goggle horn, this is kind of my tribute to Jalen Rose, who holds the baseball bat in all of his podcasts. So I remember listening to Jalen Rose and the Jalen Rose Report, which eventually became Jalen and Jacoby, which was a podcast, and now it's simulcast on ESPN. I listen to a lot of sports podcasts. I listen to Simmons, Ryan Russillo, as Jared mentioned, Pardon My Take, as well, and a lot of NBA specific podcasts, a lot of like nerdy NBA podcasts like the Dunk Down podcast with Nate Duncan. So I used to listen to a lot of Destiny podcasts, but since we started ours, I quit listening to most of them because I don't want to just repeat takes that those people have onto our Destiny podcast. So I've kind of tried to cleanse myself. However, if they have like a dev or a big like reunion type episode or something where a bunch of them get together, I will definitely listen. Jared mentioned that the Massive Breakdown podcast, which is far and away more detailed and the best data you're going to get. It's going to be way better than anything that we ever put out as far as like TTKs and those kind of things to go. So if you're into that kind of stuff, they're definitely your guys, Mercules and those fellas over there. Um, Used to listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, like Chad kind of mentioned, like Serial, S Town, um, Doctor Death. I could give you 15 or 20 of those up and vanished that are very good, but I've kind of burnt myself out on those, I would say. So primarily, I listen to. I used to also. I want to shout out the Iron Lords podcast. That's a good one, and Colin Moriarty. He's a guy that used to be with IGN, then went to Kind of Funny, and then broke off and started his own thing. So all those podcasts, I really enjoy. If you're interested, at Not Ryan Fox on Twitter, and I can give you a link and everything to that. What's our next question, Chad?
Next one is, can you explain Bungie's past games with the 30th anniversary coming up? Now I know of the games, but I didn't play those games because I wasn't into PC gaming at the time. I think it was most Marathon and them were PC, right? So I was not
Mac
much
even.
under that. Yeah. Um, Either you know more about it than I do.
No, I
Jared.
didn't start playing Bungie games till Halo Combat Evolved, so that's when my Bungie knowledge started. I did the only thing
Yeah.
only game I played on PC was there was a Star Wars Pod Racer game that I feel like looking back now I probably got maybe 12 frames a second. But yeah.
Yeah, so I've actually kind of been battling it around. I'm pretty familiar with the history of like the Bungie studios, but I haven't played a lot of the games. So I might do like a little 4 or 5 part series where I discuss like the past of Bungie, the present of Bungie, and the potential future of Bungie. And maybe next week or the week after, I'll start that coming up with that 30th anniversary coming up and just give us all a little bit of information and kind of what's going on with that.
All right. Next question, number 3. Thoughts on the Halo TV show? Do you think Bungie will do the same? Um, First of all, the Halo TV show, I'm excited to see. I know it's gonna be on Paramount Plus, so that's another streaming service I will have to, buy into for at least a month or so. And then Bungie, yeah, I think they've talked about Bungie how they expanded and they have the extra studio that is in New Amsterdam, right? So
Yes.
I think
Yes.
yeah, they're going to be producing something that is not a video game at some point. If it's
Yeah, because they
actually,
called it the media, right? They said new media, which isn't just video games. Media is pretty much everything.
mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I did dabble in the books back when Halo had books. I never finished the series, but I know that I still have a bookmark in there somewhere. So it's gonna be something that's gonna be interesting to see how successful it is. Things like The Witcher, a game that had a show based off of it, I think is more digestible because look at Game of Thrones. Things that are fantasy and medieval based are easier for people to put their heads around right away. So something that sci-fi is going to be interesting to see if it really catches on. Because I think there were rumors of like Mass Effect series being around, and I'm like, okay, well, if Halo can pick up traction, maybe some other stuff can really pick up traction. And I'm like, because the only other thing that Destiny has in it is like the Iron Lords, I guess, is as medievally as you get. So, but I mean, it's mostly sci-fi. So nowadays, sci-fi is not as sought after. So I'm hopeful that Halo does well and creates a like a little market of people for this because I want Destiny to do it too for sure. There's lots of stuff to dig into, and I want something to be able to dig into that.
Yeah, so I think the Halo show will be cool, like Chad. Um, so growing up in Kentucky, our standardized testing scores weren't as good as the national average. So one of the ways that they decided to make us better was to make us have a half hour every day in school of reading, which I used to read biographies of sports people, wrestlers, and the Halo novels. Specifically, I remember reading The Fall of Reach, which was a Halo novel that I thoroughly enjoyed. I kind of went into the history of John 117 as his training and those type of things, which was pretty cool back in the day. Getting the leg up on everybody, being able to tell them stuff, and then take them into Blood Gulch and shoot their heads off was a pretty fun time back in the day. The Destiny version of this is going to be sweet because if you remember, was it Luke Smith got promoted to, I can't remember his title. I should have looked this up, but it was something over the Destiny universe, not just Destiny 2. And then like Mark Noseworthy came up over is now over Destiny 2 or something like that. I could have that a little bit wrong, but it's something to that effect. The best question is if they were to do. So if you remember back in Halo, they did like what was it called? Like Forward Unto Dawn. That was kind of like a Halo 4 or Halo 5 like live action thing they did. They also did an anime, I want to say, in Halo. That was like a first person anime that was pretty cool. I guess that's the one anime I've actually watched. And then, so if Destiny was to do that, would you want it to be live action? Would you want it to be animated? What style would you want it to be? And what story would it cover? Like the Battle of the Six Fronts? Or something like that, maybe? Like as an anime? Or what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, the hardest thing for a TV show to do is start off in a place where people can have more understanding than normal, and where they can build off of. Um, like I was saying with The Witcher and stuff, they have a basis in medieval and fantasy. So they already know a lot of fantasy stuff. They know swords, they know magic. Most people know these things, regardless of whether who they are. They know what those are. Sci-fi stuff's a little harder. So if you go straight into like something like the Battle of the Six Fronts, you don't have any backstory there. All you know is there's guns and then some weird space magic-y thing. So if you like action, that'd be easy to digest because it's cool to watch. But if you're somebody that's there for a story, you're gonna have to make a character that's easy to connect to, and that's a little harder to do when you don't understand the setting. Now if it's on Earth, that'll be easier to understand. But I mean, if you go back to like the beginning of Guardians, like what they did with Destiny 2, they had like the whole Zavala starting story where they showed him being resurrected and going through all that stuff. Like if you start that with like an Iron Lord, going through creating the table of the Iron Lords. If you go start that with like Shax, like him learning who he is, creating his castle, beating the hell out of Fellwinter over and over again. Um, it'd give you a good basis for what Guardians are for anyone that has never heard of this franchise whatsoever. Now I would like to have like a start at the Battle of the Six Fronts as like the first episode, and then flashes back to like a couple of character
Right.
storylines, kind of like Lord of
Right.
the
Right.
Rings
Right.
style, where like it follows this person here, this person there. Um, but it's I don't know. There's a lot you could do with it, and it's maybe you could follow like a I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff I want to do with it, but it'd be like a bunch of different series of who this person is as a series, who this person is, and yeah, there's
So they got to do a good job of getting somebody that is not into video games that want to watch the show. And I think one of those ways is death. It's the best, like in like dramatic scenes that happen, right? So like you get attached to a character, and then they die, and all of a sudden, like, what just happened?
They
So
get they get like Ned Starked.
yeah. So I think there's like two ways to do it. The first one is Forsaken storyline, right? So you get attached to Cade early on and kill him in like episode 3 or 4. Or the other way is you go back whenever the humans were going against the Fallen, and the Fallen had the light powers. Let's say you start following, Ikora then, right? When she's not a Guardian yet, and the humans don't have the light powers, and then she dies, right? And then you explain what the Traveler did, and then she gets but none of her memories are there. Even though you know the memories that she had, and the people she's lost and the people she defended, but now you get to follow her through as she don't have any of her memories.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I mean, and really, if you think about it, like The Crow would be like a great storyline for that because you have like him being the bad guy and then you get the redemption arc, which, you think about shows like Lost, with Sawyer, those type of shows. That's what kind of what people like is the redemption arc. It's like a classic narrative trope. So that would be a good one as well. So yeah, I don't really think like I mean like the D1 vanilla story is pretty whack. And then like Osiris could be cool, but he would kind of be like the anime spinoff to like the main show that they could do, like of him in the Infinite Forest and stuff. Uh, the other good one I could kind of think of would be like if you got signed up for enough seasons, you could do like Crota. You kill
I was gonna
Crota,
say,
and then his
I was gonna
dad
say
comes,
Eris.
and
If you
then
follow
yeah,
Eris, that would be wild.
yeah,
Imagine
yeah,
seeing her without the three eyes and then going through her story,
yeah,
falling into the
yeah,
pit, and like a whole 3 episodes of her just crawling, or like an episode of her just crawling through the darkness, like cutting out the eyes and stuff. I'd be like, oh, wow, that'd be
yeah,
wild. It'd be dark and it'd be
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. That'd be pretty wild. But like killing Crota, and then Poppy Oryx comes in, to like avenge that. That could be pretty cool too. So there's definitely a lot of cool stuff they could do. And we're just people that have spent like 4 minutes thinking about it. Imagine if our job was to sit around and think about storylines for shows, what we could come up with. Next question: what is your first plate of Thanksgiving feast going to look like? I will. I'll get the ball rolling here. My wife coughs in the background. So I think my first plate is going to be. First of all, I'm going to get the biggest plate I can find. And the bottom layer is going to be turkey, hopefully a little bit of ham, mashed potatoes over all of that, and just like a dash, just a dash of gravy on that. And then maybe like around the sides, like a macaroni and cheese crust, and like 2 or 3 King's Hawaiian rolls around that. And then just put like a little cutout, just cut a little bit out, and like cram some green beans in there. And I think that's what my first plate's gonna look like. Maybe the second plate too. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not far from you, Fox, but mine starts out with mashed potatoes down, and then I put corn on top of the mashed potatoes, and then
Yeah.
I have dressing, not stuffing. Dressing's better, and then you put the turkey right beside the dressing. Put a little gravy on there, and then usually it's either if we don't have mashed potatoes, it's sometimes scalloped potatoes or something like that, or some mac and cheese, and then you gotta go green beans that's been made in some. It's with some bacon grease and a couple pieces of bacon down in them
Yeah.
too.
Cheered. What kind of Thanksgiving feast do you go to that doesn't have mashed potatoes?
I mean, there's been times
One
that
with class.
there's been times
you watch your California
we'd
hippie
have
mouth.
2 types of potatoes. So like first run through you get mashed potatoes, but the second run through you might get the other potatoes.
Like the au gratin,
Yeah.
or one of those
Yeah.
type of.
Yeah, the scalloped potato's delicious, my guy.
That's blasphemous, dude.
All kinds of delicious, man.
Thanksgiving is a mashed potatoes holiday.
Ugh.
You can never have too much potatoes though.
It's true.
Yeah.
You could have
They don't
like
even
just like
have- they don't
6
even
different
have
potato
potatoes.
dishes.
They don't even have potatoes where Chad is. They're
Oh
all,
man, Idaho's right there. Okay.
you guys have what, like potato substitute or something out there?
No, potato's a veggie, so of course we got potato. Um. Okay. Well, I'm the least Thanksgiving-y person you'll probably ever
Oh,
meet because I do
the
not
least
I do not
Midwest.
have well no dude, like I've had those American style Thanksgivings. I just don't like it because I don't like turkey. And my mom doesn't like turkey either. And my stepdad doesn't like being around people. So we never have American Thanksgiving because my mom cooks. So she's like, I'm not making turkey. He's like, okay, as long as I don't have to cook, I don't care what it is. So traditionally for me, I'm going rice and beans. I'm going some carne asada. I'm going maybe tamales if we feel like making that beforehand. We're talking some pork shoulder if my mom wants to be a little American, if my dad wants to cook a little bit. Um, but I mean, for me this year, it's gonna be a 40-day dry aged New York strip. Gonna be some roasted vegetables, some garlic bread, and that's gonna be me just chilling, being me by myself. Gotta celebrate.
Listen, I have to say your Thanksgiving meal sounds better than my probable Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm excited for it. I
think
hit
Chad,
that butcher shop for
I think
lunch,
Chad
and I'm
wins.
like, give me that dry aged New York right there. That's for me.
All right, I think we have one more question. Chad, can you care to read it?
Well, I would love to
Gallahorn's
read.
getting heavy.
All right, so it's what rank are you in Halo Infinite at the moment? Now for me personally, I grinded a lot the day it came out on Tuesday, and then I played a little bit Wednesday and Thursday. I think Thursday is the last time I played it. Um, but I think I hit 5 and then stopped, and this was before they made any changes, and I haven't been back in since. So I haven't been in for a week at least. Um, I haven't seen the changes. I saw today that Fiesta's on, so now I'm itching to get in there because Fiesta mode's hilarious. Um, but I mean, I think I hit 5 and I was like, all right, this has been a lot of work, and I'm good stopping here for now.
I think season pass I'm rank 4. I have not played my 10 placement games yet to get into the ranked. I would like to do that, but man, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like I'm not feeling it. Like I have some serious gripes about Halo at the moment. I'm interested whenever more hoppers go live. If I can get like a team snipers and BR starts and those type of things, I'm probably gonna hop in there a little bit more. But as of right now, man, I have no desire to get on that game.
Yeah, I'm unranked. I think my season pass might have hit 5 now. Um, I'm right there with you, Fox. Like, if I'm playing Halo, I want to play it to have fun. I'm not gonna get in there and ranked and sweat it out because if I'm gonna go play something that's difficult PvP, I want to get rewarded for it, and I know I wouldn't make Onyx, so the Onyx you get some kind of cosmetic for it. So if I know I'm not good enough to make there, so why did I get in there and grind that out? Um, so some guns still feel off in that game. You know, it's not all there yet. It's like 95%, maybe just 90, but I think it's definitely fun. I was playing a little bit before we did this podcast tonight. I played with some buddies that like sometimes I play Call of Duty with, or used to play Halo 2, Halo 3 with back in the younger days. And it was a lot of fun to get in there and do that. And Fiesta is pretty fun.
All right, I think we are done for the week. We just wanted to get you a little something to listen to while your kids are yelling in the back seat and you're driving to your in-laws to eat, uh, to get you a big plate of turkey and mashed potatoes. So we're gonna wrap this up and maybe do some Lake of Shadows GMs, get some more golf balls, maybe play some Halo, maybe just get off here and drink some beverages and go to bed. So I am not Ryan Fox. I'm gonna let these fellas here sign off and then I'll come back.
Rest up, get that belly full, because once December 7th come, it's time to like not eat and just grind out that dungeon and grind out the 6-man activity, trying to get those new weapons as soon as possible.
And all of what Jared said, and for all of our non-American listeners or listener, I don't know, I haven't seen the metrics. I'm very sorry that you have to work tomorrow or later today, depending on when you listen to this. I apologize for that, but just know that I will be at home happily eating.
Yeah, and for the record, we're huge in Belgium. So make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at DestinyCC Pod. We go live on YouTube uh, a couple times a month, maybe once a week or so, and kind of get in there and have some fun. Make sure you join the Discord. And we definitely would like to get you through some raids, especially those of you who haven't been before. And if you have been before and you still need like maybe a divinity or something, we'd love to get that running as well. Like I said, just tweet us at DestinyCC join the Discord. Go Cats. Love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
He did it. He had the yellow horn the whole time.
I told you. I told you I
what
would.
I know, and like I said, I